கௌரவ உறுப்பினர் அங்கதன் ராமநாதன் அவர்கள் தம்முடைய சார்பிலே சில கருத்துக்களை கூற வேண்டும் என்று நேரம் கேட்டிருந்திருக்கிறார்கள். அவர்களுக்கு அந்த சந்தர்ப்பம் அளிக்கப்பட்டு அவரை அழைக்கின்றனர்.
Honorable Chairman of the Council, Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable members of the Council and distinguished guests. Today, I stand here in front of you to deliver a very special message from the bottom of my heart. And I specially decided to deliver it in English because I want the entire world to hear what I have to say as a Tamil man from Jaffna. And I do not want anything lost even in translation. I choose this forum to deliver my message and not elsewhere in the world because this is our problem, and whatever the problem it is, I believe it has to be negotiated and settled here, not abroad. Our country is facing a grave danger as I speak here today, and there are many forces with vested interests joining together to destabilize our country and drive all of us back to the dark days for various agendas of theirs. As I have been consistently emphasizing throughout my campaign and since getting elected as elected members of the all-important Northern Provincial Council, we need to carefully understand the historical mandate given to us by the people of the North and select our strategic options very carefully. Playing in the hands of anti-Sri Lankan forces is not the way forward. Taking a similar example once used by our Honorable Chief Minister of Northern Province on external interventions. When brothers quarrel, it is not right to run to the neighbors and request them to beat up their own family members. There is a way of handling family issues. No one cares about the family than family members. Cutting to the chase, the problem we have here is how politicians in the north and the politicians in the south see the issues. They are in debate, in question. Third and the most important dimension of this is how the people see it. Each part of the equation has a bias in their thinking and the process everything with that. And that is where we go wrong, and that is why we are in a gridlock. I believe that we all have to understand the ground realities and figure out a way to move forward from this current gridlock. You can call it a reconciliation, forgiving, or anything else that helps you to do that. But as the end result, should be moving forward for a better future. If you all think that external intervention is going to happen, it is unlikely, and even if it does, it is unlikely to be the way we want. Even if it happens the way we want, the end result will not be what we want. Before campaigning around the world against our own country, did any one of us stop to think what it could finally do to all of us? A forced external intervention will be another historical mistake, and it will pave the way to further divide an injured but a healing nation trying to figure out where they went wrong and find the right way to move forward. No one in this country will ever benefit from internationalizing our internal issues, and it will never deliver satisfaction at the end. Bottom line is, we can all use different cards that are in political favor to worsen the current situation and run a few more rounds of elections, but by talking to the youth, interacting with the youth, and by listening to their hearts, I know that it's definitely not what they want. What is happening now is not what the future generation of Sri Lanka wants. Dear members, at this critical juncture, we the Provincial Council members of the Northern Province have a historical duty and a mandate. The mandated duty is making sure that we do not go back in time and losing everything that all of us have gained. Let us put aside political agendas and unite as Sri Lankans. And I am making this request from you not as a representative of the government, nor as an opposition member of the council, but as a Tamil citizen of Sri Lanka, who was born in Jaffna and who wants to see the country and our people prosper in the future. We have a president that is willingly to talk unconditionally with an open mind to find a solution. I request each and every one of us that is pursuing a different path to reconsider your actions in the name of our motherland. Choose the right direction and move forward. Let us not drive the country back again towards destruction. It is not something that we can afford. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Since my young friend has started in English, let me also reply that in English. Welcoming the opposition member for bringing this out. It was just 2 days ago when I was in a meeting in Colombo. The very same sentiments that were expressed by my friend were expressed by the Deputy High Commissioner, Mr. Kumaran of India. And I had this to say. In the course of my Tamil speech, I had to say it in English to him, that the discussions that are expected of us with the leadership of the Sinhalese have proved futile, because the very same discussions that were expected of us had been done by us. When we had taken part in the election process, it was our position that we said that we would first bring our problems to the notice of the President and the government in power, and if nothing is possible, that we would have no alternative but to tell the international community. And that is precisely which was done by us on the 2nd of January this year, when we had a meeting with the President, and he had given us very specific, very valuable, welcoming promises, which he had not kept up to date. Not a single one has been kept up to date. So in the light of that, my question is, what does my young friend expect us to do? It is true, we are not trying to internationalize our problems. But if our sentiments are not appreciated by the government in power, if our wants are not recognized by those who are running the government in this country, if there is a hidden agenda in order to bring about harm to the people of the northern and eastern provinces, and if for 60 odd years what we have been saying have not been understood, or nor any alleviatory steps taken in order to bring about benefits for us, my learned friend my young friend must tell me exactly what we are expected to do. We had discussed with the President, and he was very, very accommodative. But then unfortunately there is another aspect of his character which we were not aware, that he is capable of laughing and telling you something and not doing it at all. So we are in that position, and we are very sorry to say the very fact that we have to take certain matters up in the international community, before the international community, has become necessary. And let me say one thing, the world is not what it has been in the past. The world has come smaller and smaller because of the communications and various other bases on which we have come together very easily. So in the past 50-60 years, let us not forget that the international community has become part and parcel of our own lives of any particular community in any particular country. We cannot be doing things as we want without the international community bringing to the notice of everybody, including those in power, that what they do is not according to the international norms that have been laid out from 1946 onwards. So, if there is an attempt by any government not to conform to those norms and principles that have been laid down, it is but natural that those who are affected by what is being done by the government in power in that particular country should take it up in the international community. And it is not to be found fault with saying that we are trying to sell our country. No. It is the very basis on which we have to, it is a necessity that has come about because of the indifference of those in power that has really led to our having to take it up with the international community. So I would tell my young friend that it is not our intention to internationalize this, but it has been forced on us to discuss this with the international community. But on our part, we have done the correct thing in first discussing it with the president, with the government, and they are giving us very forceful promises which they have not kept. So let me say that and conclude. Thank you.
நான் இரண்டு விஷயங்களை ஆங்கிலத்திலும் தமிழிலும் சொல்ல விரும்புகிறேன். I think the honorable member mentioned about the unconditional preparedness of the president to negotiate with the TNA. Welcome. We are ready for that. Our leader is ready for that. Our leadership is ready for that. The basic condition that the president is imposing on our community is the BSc. Why is he asking us to come to the laying a precondition for negotiation, asking our leaders to come to the parliamentary select committee when they have already discussed this matter 17 times? I have presented a proposal, and the moment the proposal was given, the group that negotiated backtracked, left it, and the negotiation did not proceed. Let me assure that we of the TNA leadership is always ready to negotiate unconditionally, and you can resume the negotiation bilaterally, arrive at decisions, arrive at proposals, and then go to the PSC if necessary, and that is necessary. So let me clarify. I think the honorable member has a responsibility, since you have mentioned in this house that the honorable president, His Excellency the President, is ready to talk and negotiate unconditionally. I only underline that word, unconditionally. Let there be no condition. They can talk to the DNA. Now, I think our honorable member of parliament, who is our leader, honorable Mani Senator, is already in this house. I think he will also take note of this. And I can tell you, with such amount of responsibility, Honorable Sambandan and Honorable Mahavisharan and the leadership is ready to talk. And we also realize that at the end of the day, we will have to negotiate with the country's government. No, we know it. It can be internationalized, but it can be. So நான் என்ன சொல்ல வருகின்றேன் என்றால், நன்றி உங்களுடைய கருத்துக்கிறது. அதாவது ஜனாதிபதி அவர்கள் என்னவிட நிபந்தனையின்றி எங்களோடு பேச தயாராக இருக்கிறார் என்று அவர்கள் உறுப்பினர்கள் சொன்னார்கள். வரவேற்கத்தக்கது. அது உண்மையாக நிலைமையாக இருக்குமையானால் பாராளுமன்ற தெரிவு குழுவுக்கு வர வேண்டும் என்ற முன் நிபந்தனையை தளர்த்தி ஏற்கனவே நடந்து கொண்ட 17 வருட சுற்று பேச்சுகளோடு தொடர்ந்து எங்களுடைய தலைமை முன்வைத்த முன்மொழிவுகளின் அடிப்படையில் ஒரு பேச்சுவார்த்தையை நாளைக்கு கூட தொடங்கலாம். எங்களுடைய தலைமை அதற்கு எப்பொழுதும் ஆயத்தமாகவே இருக்கிறது என்பதை சொல்லிக்கொள்ள தெளிவாக்க விரும்புகிறேன். ஆகவே இந்த செய்தியையும் உறுப்பினர்கள் அவர்களுடைய தொடர்பை பயன்படுத்தி ஜனாதிபதி அவர்களுடைய கவனத்திற்கு கொண்டு வரும். நான் நினைக்கிறேன், என்னுடைய கருத்துக்கு மாற்று கருத்து இங்கே இல்லை என்று நினைக்கிறேன். நாங்கள் பேச தயாராக இருக்கிறோம். நிபந்தனை இல்லாமல் பேசுவதை வரவேற்கிறோம். பாராளுமன்ற தெரிவு குழுவுக்கு போவதற்கு முன்பாக ஏற்கனவே நடந்து கொண்ட இருபக்க பைலட்டரி பேச்சுவார்த்தையை தொடர வேண்டும் என்று நாங்கள் கேட்டுக்கொள்ள விரும்புகிறோம்.
Accepting Honorable Chairman's suggestion, I would just like to correct one thing. That is, the negotiation should not be with the TNA but the representatives of Northern Province as whole. basically the representatives consist from different parties. I am also representative of the North. So I feel that we also should take part in the...
Sure, you can be on the other side. You can be on the other side.
No,
we
we
can
should
be
be
on
as
this
one
side.
whole team negotiating, I think.
No, you can. You are always welcome to be on your president's side. I will be on my side if necessary, right? But my chief minister will be there. Our chief minister will be there.